this is what happens when you have a shiny nose. No, normally I do something about that, try to reduce any sort of shininess before I get on cam, but I'm ready for bed. But there were some arguments that people had in regard to my video about impeaching Trump a second time that were very good arguments. There was one that I had used in a previous version of the video that I had uploaded, and I wanted to try to mention it all, but I just didn't like the pace that those videos were going. It was just taking too long to get to what I wanted to say. You know, the version that I liked the speed best ended up missing out a couple arguments, and one of them was that he wouldn't be able to get the benefits someone who was president. Normally they get a whole bunch of benefits. They get a pension, they get armed security, they get there's a whole number of things that they get, and had to have that stripped away from Trump. That is a good thing. I guess some of my worry was Biden not being able to get done a number of of things that he needs to get done right away. To undo some of the crap that Trump had done. I mean, he's got a lot of work ahead of him. He's got a pile of crap ahead of him. We especially need to do some things in regard to COVID relief. All these companies that have went under, all these people that are struggling, that they have a company they'd like to still be able to operate. And I know there's people out there who say, they should just diversify more with the way that they offer the product. And it's just like you can't just completely change your business model like that with no money. Some people are just were barely operating as it was. So I mean, it's the same thing as telling people, go learn to code, right? It's just the same sort of thing. But yeah, many people brought up very good reasons as to why a second impeachment of Trump is a good thing to focus on. And it's a good thing for the government to focus on. So yeah, it is important that we don't give him all these extra perks to what a person who was president normally gets, as I said already. Then there's the notion that he can't run for president again. Yeah, that's pretty important too. Although that one I did mention, but I mentioned it as if it's not as important. But Trump does have a pretty big percentage of cult followers, where if there were primaries, they would gladly vote him in. They'd be so vocal about it. They'd gladly vote him in over decent, qualified, principled, conservative candidates. I can't discount those people. I'll give this impeachment one thing. It will show how tethered the Republicans are to Trump. If they're actually willing to convict Trump, it will show that the Republicans have the same principled views that they've always claimed that they have. They could save themselves in some way, Now, an element that actually has me worried, though, are the crazy people. What do we do about all the people who are 100% convinced that Trump won in a landslide, that Biden is a puppet to the CCP and is just basically going to give us over to China, and regardless of the fact that we haven't lost the Republic, this strong notion that we need to take back the Republic at all costs, and they're willing to do anything to achieve those goals. What do we do about those people? Their numbers aren't as small as we'd like them to be. If my big worry is all the crazies, then why was I more concerned about this all getting done after Biden is inaugurated? It should make me more calm than if they did that before he was inaugurated, because then they could throw a fit and still try to somehow stop the inauguration. So I don't know. Perhaps I should have just talked with some people before making a video, you know? But sometimes I put my foot in my mouth, and you know, it's good to talk about things sometimes. So man, I am ready for bed. Have a good night.